Hey everyone, this is Great Catchy. I'm doing my first audio blog update. Kind of interesting and exciting. Some of you may know that I like to play with the GarageBand on my iMac. It's kind of a neat program, so I'm trying to get the most out of it, I guess. Anyway, this particular update is about a chant. It's a pretty popular chant that has been around, I'm not even sure how long. It's kind of a traditional pagan chant. I'm not even really sure what the actual name is. I always thought it was called the Goddess Chant, and I'm seeing some alternative titles that just list the first four goddesses named in it: Isis, Astarte, Diana, and Hecate. And by giving you that much, most of you are probably already aware of what I'm talking about. It's a pretty standard chant. It's pretty popular among Wiccans, especially the more eclectic Wiccans, because of the wide variety of goddesses named. It goes a little something like this, and please excuse my horrible singing voice. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. That's basically it, and you can repeat it over and over and over again until you achieve some sort of trance-like state. I was first taught this only a couple years ago, actually. It's kind of amazing considering how old it is. But, when you grow up with the dial-up internet in your late teens only, you don't get exposed to a lot of media. So anyway, it was taught to me by my friend Katrina, or a Magic Cat, and I fell in love with it. And this was even during a time when I was moving away from eclectic paganism towards Druidism. I always really liked the way it sounded. I always really liked the way I felt the more I kept doing it. I still catch myself singing it from time to time, even though I really don't have any connection to any of the gods in the chant. And I've been thinking about this a lot because I really do like the tune and think that there's a lot of power behind repeating it. But I wanted something a little more Druidic, a little more Celtic in flavor. Now, I'm not 100% sure where this chant originally came from. I know that the band Incubus Succubus, I hope I have that name right, they did a version of it, which you could find. I don't know what album it's from. I found something that said it was originally done by some people named Dina Metzger and Caitlin Mullen that showed up as a chorus in something called The Burning Times in 1987. I don't know. I don't know if this is right or not, but they have alternative verses that include some Celtic goddesses like Epona and Caradwen. But they're still interspersed between other goddesses like Freya and Aphrodite and even Mary. And again, repeating these, it's the melody, it just really strikes me, and I wanted something that was purely Celtic. Those of you who know me know that I follow an Irish hearth culture. Despite that, I still am fascinated with other Celtic cultures, and I get a lot out of studying them, and I don't know, down the road my practice may become more pan-Celtic, for better or worse, depending on your opinion. And I had to find goddesses that kind of fit the tune, fit the syllables, and I looked to goddesses that I was particularly interested in. I decided to use Briad, who is my patroness, and I'm calling her Briad in this chant, even though I usually call her Brige. I also decided to use Blachane, the flower goddess. Moon Mountain just honored her for Beltane. And I never really thought about her before, or her Welsh counterpart, whose name I'm not really sure I can pronounce. Anyway, I called to her during ritual, and I felt a lot of power behind it, and I feel very drawn to Blachane now. maybe not necessarily as like a patroness figure, but as somebody to get a lot of inspiration from. I already have ideas for a doll I want to make, and I'd like to learn more about her, think about her more. So Bríd Blachane Morgan. I'm one of those people who's sort of weary about Morgan. I know she's really powerful, and she's got a lot of energy about her that makes me kind of uncomfortable. War, death, decay, meat eating, maybe. She doesn't really, not somebody, a vegetarian who doesn't really like to hunt and doesn't like to get bloody. Not really someone I can connect to, but I have a lot of respect for her, and at the same time, I'm kind of grossly intrigued by her. And living near Fort Drum up here in northern New York, I definitely feel her presence. So she's somebody I don't necessarily know very well or feel pulled to work with much, but I have a huge amount of respect for her. Then Caradwen, who, even though I don't really focus on Welsh deities, I think she's an amazing goddess. Just something about the story of her and Taliesin, it inspires me in some way, and that's something else I'd like to explore. Epona, that's more a nod to my husband and his love of the Zelda games. He thinks Epona is pretty cool for that reason, so that's more of a tribute to him. Danu and Rhiannon, another Welsh goddess, and Danu, sort of the mother of the Tuatha De Danann, the Irish gods. So yeah, just some goddesses that I'd like to learn more about, who inspire me, who I feel particularly in awe of, and they also happen to fit the pattern of the chant. So here is my Celtic goddess version of the Isis Astarte chant. And again, excuse my horrible singing voice. Bríd Blachane Morgan Caradwen Epona Danu Rhiannon. Bríd Blachane Morgan Caradwen Epona Danu Rhiannon. Bríd Blachane Morgan Caradwen Epona Danu Rhiannon. I kind of like it. I like the repetition of the Morgan Caradwen Epona in the middle. Is the syllables, I don't know, they work really well, and I like saying it over and over again. I think it reflects more of my Hearth culture, my particular interests and where I'm being pulled spiritually. So I feel it really resonates with me more than the other chant, and yet still has that same pattern, the same tune, the same melody, if you will. So I'm definitely planning to use it more. Go ahead, use it yourself, or alternatively, show me what you can come up with for your pantheon of choice or your Hearth culture. I'd also be interested to know if someone with more understanding of the Tuatha De Danann and a better understanding in particular of how to pronounce some of their names could come up with a strictly Irish version of it, because I have other goddesses I'm interested in, but I'm not really sure how to pronounce their names and don't want to look like an idiot mangling it so publicly. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And that's that. I hope you enjoyed listening. Sorry if it was boring or corny. I'll catch you all later. Bye.